Greetings! We are Fellowship Gaming, here to entertain you with yet another tale of daring, disaster, and dimwits. So please grab your favorite drink and perhaps a snack, and let us regale you with the songs of our misdeeds. It's got audio.
Oh, dang it.
Tonight we will be playing Starfinder, which is a science fiction D20 system. If you would like to see more content, please check us out on YouTube at fellowshipgaming.quest, where you can subscribe, hit that bell notification, and hit that bell notification. I can read. If you'd like to join us during our live stream, head over to Twitch, and give us a follow in order to be part of our live chat. Okay, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. We're all very punch drunk over here. Tonight we are playing the Season 6, Episode 1. It's going to be Year of Fortune's Fall. It's the intro. Let me see if I can bring up the cool art.
I can't afford color print yet.
In all honesty, no.
It's expensive, buddy. I have my black printer. I have my black laser printer, and that's good enough for me.
I can't make that joke.
Yeah, you can't make that joke. Okay, this one is the first episode of this season. It's going to be a meta plot one, so it's going to be part of the main story, so just pay attention to that as we go through. We're going to try to bring the meta plot over this next year. Okay. Everyone, you are aboard the Brass Clutch, which is the personal starship of Radazam, who is the Acquisitive's faction leader.
So by clutch, are we thinking like a gear or like a bag?
Different, actually. The third option, a cluster of eggs.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Radazam is a Vesk, and they are born in clutches, similar to dragons. But that's a great question.
I was just curious.
As I drink out of my Fellowship Gaming themed bottle.
Yeah, stop by our loot store. I don't know the website off the top of my head.
It's a bunch of numbers and letters. We can't get it cleaned yet.
Yeah.
Okay. You are on your way to Castrovel, specifically the port city of Kabarat, which is the shining jewel of the Western Sea. You have been tasked with setting up one of the new grand galas that's being held at the Grand Museum of Kabarat. The Brass Clutch begins its gentle descent onto Castrovel, the city-state of Kabarat coming into view for the first time. The sun glistens off the city walls as if lighting up a pathway to the city center. Ihu swivels his chair to face the group. I always love seeing Kabarat come into view. You see that glare on the walls there? He gestures his head towards the window. Layers of shells. Decades of them, built up over the years and brought into the foundations of the walls. These aren't kids on a field trip, Radazam calls from the cockpit. Save the tour for when the cameras can see them, eh? Knowing your history is all well and good, but we're here to make an impression, not just look at pretty shells. I'm sure they'll have time for both, Ihu calls back before turning to the group. The museum's gala is tomorrow, but we've arrived early to help finalize the exhibition. Exhibition.
Yep.
There will be a robo-taxi waiting for you.
Meanings.
Yeah, it does.
Not all of them are.
Yeah, that's what I was like, that's not the right word. I'm like, no, that's the right word.
That's the right word.
Please head over to the museum and meet with Zovi, the curator. Most importantly, take your time. Explore the museum. Learn the history of this place and the people who live in it. Most importantly, Radazam asks, don't break anything. You'd be surprised how expensive those little rocks can be. We're here to make a good impression, not rack up an enormous bill. And you can hear the soft hiss as the clutch lands in the starport and like the landing struts take effect. Do you guys have any questions?
So we're literally just here to support a gala? An art gala?
Yeah, but that's a good question. So Ihu was like, well, no, you're here to help set up a display. It's the Starfinder's display.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is material from the Starwood... So we're
it's like a convention.
Yes, more like a business convention with like a
Sure.
like a normal
Yeah,
nerd
the
convention.
that I didn't. I mean, there are all sorts of conventions.
Yeah, I understand.
Like-
But you're essentially, he says, so we're going to be on display materials from the scoured stars. So we've discovered information of belongings from numerous ancient and long destroyed civilizations across many of the worlds of the scoured stars systems, and we've received permission to display some of it here. Nothing related to the Azalkans, of course. Their descendants preferred we keep their history quiet to protect their current lifestyle. But there's still plenty of information on the Mantrazi and a few ancient Jinsul civilizations. Some of the other cultures of the Scoured Stars are represented to a lesser extent, as our research on their homeworlds is only in its beginning stages. There are belongings from the ancient... I had the word, now I lost it. Singathrex way station, a Techian industrial site, a Mato bathing pod, a Nalentu farm, and a Tyr religious site. So that answers your question. You're there to help set up a Starfinder art exhibit.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Be nice if they...
Displaying the cultures from the Scoured Stars.
Yeah, information display, culture. Yeah, that makes sense.
Any other questions? Blue over white?
No, I don't think so. We aren't having to write everything out in books and paper again, are we?
No. Those are we'll have plaques that'll describe everything that's going on.
Oh, good. Royo keeps us busy.
I can imagine. If there are no more questions, let's go ahead and get started. We'll head on over to the gala. Go ahead and give me culture or life science to recall knowledge.
18 culture.
18, 1-8.
I don't
crap.
crap.
Do you have any?
No, they're trained only. I'm not trained.
Okay. And then the envoy.
Yeah,
Let me do math.
Okay.
I'm just a lowly little soldier.
It happens.
I don't know things.
Roll a d6 and say, tell him you got a 30.
I know
You'll
machines.
be
I
fine.
don't know.
I can make a
We're not into
perception
man
check
shorts.
if it has to do with the undead, but that's it.
Oh, that is
That
beautiful.
touch is nice.
So that will be, if my math is correct,
48.
a 27.
Okay, well, that's actually really good. Okay, so I'm going to read you all the stuff you got. The Scoured Stars is a trinary star system located in the vast. Years ago, First Seeker Judnura led an expedition into the Scoured Stars, which resulted in many agents of the Starfinder Society becoming trapped in the system behind a magical impenetrable barrier. Jadnura's successor, First Seeker Luwazi Alcibo, worked tirelessly to lower this barrier and rescue the agents. Unfortunately, the rescue mission brought them into conflict with the Jinsuls and their dangerous leader, Drurus. The ensuing battles were hard won. I was there for like all of them. The Scoured Stars consist of 3 star systems, Agile, Bastiar, and Callion, which revolve around a common berry center. There's some advanced astrophysics in this conversation.
I know what a berry center is.
Agile is an orange dwarf star with 5 planets, all of which are terrestrial planets in the star's habitable zone. Bastiar is the largest, brightest, and the most massive of the 3 stars. It's a yellow dwarf star with 8 planets, 5 terrestrial planets, a gas giant with more than 3 dozen moons, and 2 ice giants. Callion is the smallest of the 3 stars. It's a red dwarf star with only 2 small, tidally locked planets whose orbits are synchronized so that they are always on the opposite sides of the star. The protective, and some would say possessive, god Cadrigal resides within the Scoured Stars. So far, the Starfinder Society has identified 8 major species that lived within the Scoured Stars. 1, the Mentrasi, are extinct. The others include the Exalguns, Jinsuls, Matos, Nalentus, Signathrax, Techians, and Tyrs. Many of these people left the Scoured Stars and emigrated to different planets ages ago. Notably to the planets of Rax and Azalran, known to much of the universe as Icefront, and to the planets of Saruk Ruan, system, forming the multi-planetary federation known as the Kree-Home Freehold. The settlement of Izdamar, was recently founded on Agile 4 upon the ruins of an ancient and mysterious megacity. This site is fast becoming the home base and trading hub for visitors to the Skyward Stars system. Under the guidance of the retired First Seeker Jednura and newly promoted Venture Captain Dezarin, a Starfinder Lodge is being opened there and amid the remains of a Jinsul military bunker.
Okay.
Lore dump.
Paizo, if you're not too busy with all your other projects, if we could just get like a handheld data pad, Starfinder themed, to hold all that information, because my brain stopped after like 2 sentences.
I can say some of it might be on the Starfinder wiki, because a lot of that is old information.
Some
Most
of
of
the
it's-
later stuff is not.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's all on.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
might be on the
But,
timeline website.
Like, because I don't remember if it was a season opener, season ender that was in Gen Con when I first went years ago. I GM'd the scenario where, was it
What is it? 199.
Cadriel? Is it 199?
Cadrigal is 2,
Two.
the end of 2.
Yeah, I ran that one at Gen Con.
Yeah, and I've my dwarf Tordenshold went through that one, and fought the god.
Mm-hmm.
And I just recently actually went back to did 199 with Tordenshold.
And I forgot about that, the boon from that one, where you can pick him as your deity.
Yep, he's fun. Okay, you guys enter a robo-taxi and head off to Kabarat. The robo-taxi emerges from the starport into the bright light of Kabarat. The sunlight bounces off the layers of iridescent shells layered inside the city walls, casting a spotlight towards the city center. The full extent of Kabarat's architecture rushes past the windows. Ancient universities stand side by side with cutting-edge cultural centers. Rows of academic buildings give way to the Grand Museum of Kabarat, a large, ovoid sandstone building that takes up the center of the district, rising out of the ground with a low dome to its right side. Its exterior resembles the same species of seashell that covers the city walls. The robo-taxi halts and pulls to the side of the entrance, kneeling to the side to allow its passengers to embark. Sitting outside the entrance is a less than patient Nalentu, who practically hops in excitement. So the Nalentu is one of the species from the Skyward Stars, so there's some cool art.
So for ambiance, when we're thinking of the shells in the buildings, it's like buildings that are layered in abalone.
I honestly, when I read this the first time, it reminded me of the desert civilization in Morrowind.
Yeah.
Where you could go in and they're just shelled, because they're all shells there. There's large creatures.
Well, it's they call it chitin or
Chitin?
Titan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shells are different, but I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. Carapace is chitin.
So that's Ihu Hadif.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Grand Museum of Kabarat. That's what it looks like.
Okay. So it's a giant shell?
It's the shell on top, and then it's got sandstone on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's topped with shells. And this is the Nalentu.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh,
It
they're
looks...
Yeah, it's shadowy.
It's the
from
bat
my-
creature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's shadowy because they have it's a lot of color on it.
Yeah. It's a man bat from DC.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
Wayne Bruce.
Is that his real name?
Yeah. That's the joke, because he's Batman. Instead he's Man Bat, he's Wayne Bruce.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't think he had an official name.
Yeah, he has an official name.
Yeah, I like him because there's like Swamp Thing, and then there's is it Man Thing or what's the
I
thing?
can't
It
remember.
looks like Swamp Thing, but it has like the tentacles.
I don't know.
Oh man! But they're one's DC and the other. I mean, they're both technically DC, but one is like Image Comics before DC bought them out. And they're both what do they call it? Guardians of the Green, Avatars of the Green. Because Swamp Thing's technically an immortal god.
Okay.
And believe it or not, he gets his powers from. He is the source of the powers that Poison Ivy gets her powers from.
Interesting, because like that's the same thing with Aurora, who is
Oh yeah. So you
she's
find
not a
out
mutant.
you find out she's the avatar of
Gaia.
of God.
Yeah.
She was a princess and a legitimate god, and then later on they're like, oh yeah, no, she's actually
Yeah,
a god.
yeah,
You're like, oh,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, she was worshipped as a deity in an African culture.
Same thing.
No,
with,
no, she is a deity.
yeah. Same thing with T'Challa.
yeah,
Yeah, it's actually best that they are.
yeah. They're actually it's actually Bast, and Bast is where they get the power from, not from the heart-shaped herb.
Right.
But
that helps
it's ritualism
people-
and
that
mysticism,
helps,
which is most religions.
It's like the Ruby Cyratorix. It enables them to channel it without dying.
I want to let you know, I love you right now, because the Ruby Cytorak is actually one of my favorite items.
Oh, 100%.
And people don't know about it.
Oh my god.
Because it is one of the best things. Like, okay, so how did the Juggernaut become the Juggernaut? He's an archaeologist that accidentally found this ruby.
Well, he's an assistant archaeologist who is a tank basically. He was a big football player.
Yeah.
And he carried stuff, and then he came across it when he fell into the tomb. But yeah, no, and he's far more like people don't realize like the
He's
relationship between
massive,
him,
yeah.
Kane Marco and Charles Xavier, like they're stepbrothers.
Yeah, yeah.
People don't know that.
No, they don't.
And they also don't know that he's literally, he's incredibly powerful. He doesn't even begin to tap into the powers that he has access to with Ruby.
I liked playing the Marvel RPG one, and his power is unstoppable. He's just
If he's in motion,
yeah. He is the immovable object. Yeah. He is the equivalent. So he's
not
the
the immovable object. He's the unstoppable.
You're right. He's
force.
the unstoppable force.
Yeah.
Him. I think there was supposed to be a crossover of him fighting Thor.
Yeah.
And
Mjolnir.
And the issue with Mjolnir, because Mjolnir, everything moves around Mjolnir. Yeah. He does not. Okay, so there is the Nalentu, and they're like, oh, hi everybody, hi, my name's Minkali. I'm so excited you're here. See, okay, so I was born in the Kree home freehold, and my ancestors emigrated from the Skyward Stars. But so some of my people's, well, actually, it's my great grandmother's sisters, aunts, cousins, brothers, son,
Former roommate.
girlfriend. That's their stuff that we're going to be displaying off today.
Are these your words, or are these the common? Or is this the common translation?
This is probably the common translation. And then she's like, aha, come on. And
it's wonderful. Nice to meet you. My name is Ace. My story didn't begin until I died.
Oh, that's good to know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like you. And they're named non-binary. They run off into the thing. Minkali rushes off through the galleries, clambering up on the stairs into a cordon off I can't do words. I'm excited now. Exhibition space marked by a sign that indicates a new display will be soon opening in this area. I've got to calm myself down. I get excited. You got to see this, they call back. Come on. The Nalentu scrambles into a large room filled with arrowheads, pottery shards, and other archaeological finds.
It's like I'd just like to pipe in. You or someone else was instructed. You guys all look the same to me. And by guys I mean everybody. Male or female, I could care less. To wait until we were on camera so that it could get broadcast. Just letting you know that so they don't tell you. And I point to the person, Razam or whatever his name was.
Radazam.
Radazam, that's it. Earlier he said.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, Ace is so nonchalant.
I'm so offended you find me to look like everybody else.
I just don't understand the proclivity of attractiveness. So I do. The only visible part of Ace is their wings. Everything else is in a cowl and a mask and the whole nine. Really death cult.
Honestly, so if they're not. They're just called. Are they just called Celestials? And then there's Azamar and then Tiefling.
No, so it's not celestial. Oh man, I just looked up the word today. They're planetar, but they're neutral instead of good and evil.
Okay, yeah.
But I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, because I played an Azamar and I did not build them well.
Scions?
Ganzi?
Ganzi?
Yeah.
It's Ganzi, Azumar, and Tieflings. Those are the three.
Okay, okay.
The Ganzi or Ganzi are the neutral or axiomatic.
Okay.
But yeah.
Says the far side of the wall is taken up by a floor-to-ceiling diorama of an archaeological strata, depicting the various eras on display in the hall.
Also, shocker at Casey playing a young, attractive female character.
No.
No.
No?
No.
This is a walrus.
Oh, you're a wall. Yeah, no.
But I like to
Oh,
point
that
out
makes sense.
they
now.
are a young, attractive
I was-
female
oh,
character.
No, he's a
They're all the same. to me.
male attractive
Look,
female.
when you
Male
don't have
attractive
culture,
character.
they all look the same, okay?
I'm just thinking of.
I mean,
Daniel,
he
is it
is.
Daniel Radcliffe? In,
Yeah.
No,
Daniel Radcliffe.
in
Elijah
Tusk.
Wood.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, is it like no? no, no, no.
I'm teasing.
Who the hell is in Tusk?
I don't know.
It wasn't.
Oh.
Was it Justin Long?
I saw that. Not the film today, but I saw comments on it today. Oh.
Oh no, it's rough.
Oh.
But it's that's the guy. That's the guy
I
that
don't know.
plays the primary. I thought it was. Because there's a Daniel Radcliffe. It's a whole.
It's a whole
Shit.
thing.
Did Kevin Smith do
I don't know.
the horned one? The one with Daniel Radcliffe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember either. I just know Juno Temple is, and I like Juno Temple.
Minkali climbs up the diorama, eagerly pointing out various pieces of pottery built into the display. You see that mark here? My ancestor made this one. Oh, and that one, this one over here, and this one over here too. Their showcase of their ancestors' belongings is cut short by a stomping footsteps of an incoming Vesk, hand on a radio, and an angry sneer on her face.
She have a security badge somewhere on her persons.
She is the security badge.
Yeah.
Amikesh is her name. She approaches, breathless, and says, "Get down from there." She looks at you and she goes, "Who are you? What are you doing here? Why did you rush past security? And what do you do loitering in this gallery that's currently closed to the public?"
Well, to be honest, we're not part of the public. We're part of the Starfinder Society. We are here to help set up the Starfinder display.
Okay, go ahead and give a diplomacy check.
Let me double check that. Yes.
Expertise style.
If anybody else wants to, you can make a diplomacy check, a bluff check, a culture check, or a profession check that is related to working in a museum or working security.
Okay, so that's 17.
I got a 26.
26 what?
Diplomacy.
Okay.
So blue over white is just like, look, when liaison with the stewards and the Starfinder Society, here's the laydown.
Yeah.
We skip security because of that.
Come on
I'm
down,
not sure if
buddy.
there's any electrical, mechanical, or computer issues.
So
He's the muscle.
She like looks at the
Or
creature,
Shooty.
looks at you, looks over at security, which is just literally a desk like this, and someone just like, "Here's your badge. Here's your badge." Worse security than a convention, I swear.
I walk over and I look for name tags, and I just grab. I was like, I don't know anybody's names. I just grabbed the 4 that makes the most sense. I just put it on everybody's chest.
And so she's like, okay, that makes sense. Oh, you got badges. Fantastic. Okay. I'm sorry. It's very stressful. You know what? Okay, here's what I'll do. There's supposed to be a lot of paperwork, but if you the Starfinders, you've got your name tags, you everything like that. What I'll do is I'll just fill out the paperwork for you, going forward. And so her name badge says Amikesh. She's just like, just call me. Oh crap, I forgot her name. Call me Amik.
Avik?
Amik.
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 Why, hello, Amik. I am Arthrid.
Arthrid?
Arthrid.
Well, fantastic. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm just going to go fill out the paperwork for you
Just out of
guys.
curiosity, what species is the walrus?
Morlama.
Morlama.
Willema.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you like a old style Herglick where you're like a giant walrus with bipedal legs, or are you a walrus?
I'm
He's
a
a
walrus.
That's awesome.
He's full on like bouncy just to
Sure,
move
sure.
walrus.
Yeah, I was just curious because we had like uplifted dogs and bears and shit. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, he
Cool.
just a walrus in armor with a gun.
Yeah, there's in Star Wars. There's a old race called the Herglick, which is just it's an orca, but they don't have tails or anything. They're just like in Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
the giant soldier guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they look like.
Yeah.
That's what I was imagining, just a walrus. head.
Also, I would say Orca. Oh, I think his name is Orca in My Hero Academy.
I'm not familiar. I
Okay.
should. My daughter loves it.
No, it's
I
totally fine.
haven't watched.
There's a guy who he's really good at control, like managing the battlefield.
I've seen one episode
So-
and it had a pink girl with gravity powers, and I like her, and that's about.
Uruhara, yeah, Uruhara. I can do words.
Oh, are you purple
All
too?
I
Well, they're all
know.
different colors, but yeah, that
Oh,
one's
damn.
purple.
Oh, you got like a what is that? A cestus?
Kind of, yeah.
Shit.
Do I? No.
So
I have a
after
I don't know your life.
a few moments later, as you're talking to Amik, someone else comes running over. It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Zomi. Welcome to the Grand Museum of Kabarat. I hear you've already met with our head of security,
so many new
Amik,
names to learn.
and received a comprehensive
Welcome
tour
to the Starfinder.
of our dig site diorama by your little Starfinder friend. Minkali is quite
We
exuberant.
should all just have designations like we used to have on Yoxian.
My name is Zomi.
You
Zovi.
know,
I'm a curator here at
I've
the
only
museum.
met Zoe.
And who are you?
Wonderfully exuberant fellow.
As I've already explained to several other people already today, my name is Ace Delholm. I am a soldier from Eox.
Okay.
Is that a Lashunta? With the,
Lashunta,
okay.
Yeah.
The antennas never. You never know.
No, you really don't. But Lachunta are from this planet.
Okay.
Castrovel.
And elves,
And elves.
And elves.
But the elves kind of
And
don't exist here
Fomorian.
anymore.
but they. Oh yeah, they moved here and then they've gone elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
They
Spoilers.
are on one continent.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a soldier. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and by that I mean I have like an ice cube on my sleeve.
How he
It
keeps
strips
that
of necro
cold,
heart.
I don't know.
I'm blue over white. I'm a liaison steward with the Starfinder Society. They got smuggled out of Aslanti space and have been living the free life. And dealing with paperwork. You don't have paperwork. Just making that decision for you. None.
Didn't you have to sign for your name tag?
I did. No more.
Just let it be. Let it be. Hey, he has a rough life with paperwork. Kind of like I have with doors.
When your body's made out of water.
I am
So-
smart.
You guys get along great.
Perhaps you've seen my commercials for Smiley White Tooth Cleaner.
I don't really watch the HoloNet.
That's a shame. That's a shame. But I am from Arnesiel, the homeworld of the Morlamaz. Yes, many of us have left since its discovery and subsequent introduction to the Pact Worlds and Starfinder Society.
Okay.
You see a fairly tall android. I'm HDN 732. I focus on mechanical and computer work around here.
Okay.
Ah, fantastic, fantastic.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go on a tour now, and then we'll talk about what it is that you'll need to be doing, okay?
Okay.
You don't have water pathways, do you?
How long before the gala opens? Just so we-
Tomorrow.
Okay. I was like, just the faster we can get this tour over with, the sooner we can get the display set up.
Yeah, sure. No problem. I definitely get that. And she'll go through. She's like, no, we don't have any waterways, but if you go over here, we'll take a look over here. And it says, this gallery is where we keep and display fragile materials, things that are important to our people and history but cannot survive with too much light or jostling. As you'll notice, our museum has no corners. Because it's a round thing.
It's a shell.
Yeah.
We're
As an
familiar
institution
with
that must...
the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, yeah. As an institution that must serve a multitude of cultures, we must be mindful of those cultural beliefs. The makers of this dance regalia, for example. And so what is going on is there's these cases, and they're blacked out, and there's a button, and she presses the button, and it backlights.
Okay.
Ever so like momentary, of like a minute, and no more than that, so you can just take a look at it and go off. She presses a button beside her, momentarily lighting up a display case holding a dress with faded color. They believe that the things they make have an energy, and that energy can become trapped. Not too many sharp edges in nature, you see. While these belongings are in our care, they're free to glide around in space and flow through the curvatures of the building. And as the tour guides are fond of saying, it keeps us well-rounded. As she gestures for the group to follow her, she steps into the next gallery.
That was a good one.
This one is titled The Life Within the Gap. And it has a few things. It has cultures that have arose during the gap and the museum's best guesses on how those people lived at that time. This is the largest and most regularly visited galleries of this museum area, and there's massive amounts of stuff. There are weaponry, everyday objects. It's going crazy. She does say, though, that they used to have a full-scale diorama, but because the knowledge of the gap is so imprecise and is rapidly evolving from day to day, it wasn't cost-effective. So now they just have holograms, and you can press a hologram, they'll talk to you back and forth, things of that nature. And then she's like, okay, so this is important. So this museum alone currently displays belongings from over 50 different Lashunta-centric cultures that were located on Asana. It's a fraction of our history, a single tree in the jungle. Okay, and then she leads you into the next area, which is where you will be setting up your, whatever that's called, display. She leads off in the section. It's that this is the location for temporary galleries that are changed every so often to showcase new things. They're borrowed things from museums. If nobody knows how a museum functions, that's what they do. Okay. There are 2 people already there that are currently working on the final touches of the displays. There is a male Damaya Lashunta and a male half-elf. He's black. And he's got a cowl. And then there's this guy.
Cool.
And you'll recognize that guy.
I know. I'm like.
Yeah, it's him. Okay. Let's see here. Just gonna throw that over there. So there are 2 displays here. I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you to make some checks. The first one, he introduces himself as Waylos. And go ahead and give me a perception check or a sense motive.
Nice. That's a good start.
Oh,
13.
I got a nat 20, so 25
What?
on perception.
Perception, okay.
Yeah, 23 perception.
23 perception. Brian?
13. Either.
Okay. And LaCasey.
I don't get that with this. Oh,
Another nat 20
nat 20 for
for
a total of 26.
sense motive or
Perception.
perception. Okay, fantastic. So
Don't have.
So
sense
his
motive.
display consists of ancient bone carvings, stone statuettes, and other artwork focused on stars and other celestial bodies. The signage indicates these belongings are from the ancient elven civilization of Awatia. As you guys are looking through this information...
Sorry. You said it, and my brain heard Wallachia. And I was like, Jesus Christ, is my God here?
yeah. That it looks like this specific display is not just set up to convey information, but it also seems like it's there to increase the prestige of the university's archaeological findings, and B, to aid Waylos in securing additional funding for his future fieldwork.
So this is the Castellan specific section that we're at now.
This is a temporary gallery, and there's just 2 people.
No,
here.
I mean but their display is the Castellan display.
His specific display is from this planet, yeah. As you guys are looking at the display and talking, he'll explain what's going on. He says, the People of Oatia have their roots in the city of Loskilua. I'm going to butcher that name. Look, this comes up like 15 different times. Located on Castrovel's continent of Ukulam, but they later traveled to distant solar systems using magic. Oatian belongings have thus far been discovered on Astavent, Helftenthal, Perluria, the Tabori cluster, and even recently explored Waydana 4. We're currently on Waydana 4 for Horizons of the Vast.
Horizons of Asses.
So,
Which
he
is funny because you have the sheet now.
Yeah, he has the sheet.
He further explains that the Oatians were intensely interested in astronomy and distant worlds. They developed supernatural and magical techniques for surveying the sky beyond their own galaxy, discovered countless new constellations and worlds, captured eons-old messages from distant galaxies, made contact with bizarre and powerful aliens, and communed with cosmic demigods. Eventually, Loskialua was abandoned. Wayla suspects that the Oatians used powerful magic to travel closer to the distant sites that they most desire to study, skipping across the universe in a never-ending quest for astronomical enlightenment.
They probably use something like a Stargate.
That's exactly actually what they
That's
use.
awesome.
Yeah. Dead Sons 2 is when they go into that.
Yeah, so
conversation.
that I built this character based on a concept that I GM'd in Dead Sons 1
Yeah.
because I wanted to create a O'Neill style character.
Yeah.
But the Kurt Russell version, not the
Oh,
the two L's, not the one L.
Yeah, the Stargate.
Yeah.
The Stargate film, not the Stargate SG-1 series,
Yeah.
which both
so
are good.
it would actually be closer
They
to
are.
is it Chiani? I can't remember the name of the boy. The boy that Russell adopts. He doesn't really adopt him. You know what I mean? The black-haired
What's his
kid who.
name? Yeah.
Skara?
Thank you.
Skara?
It
No,
was-
Like I'm running through names. I was like, okay, they're on
yeah,
Abydos.
I know that the name I said was close to the name of Daniel Jackson's wife, Shari.
Shara.
Shara.
Share.
Shari.
Share.
I
I
was
can't
conflating.
do
them,
their
yeah.
name.
Shari.
But that's right. I
It
got
is a
that
name.
like a Greek,
Okay, I'll
Latin,
take a look.
Egyptian. Ace,
I was
yeah.
watching it until they pulled it off Netflix. And it was Shari.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. So there's that one.
Cool.
And then the other one is go ahead and give me diplomacy or culture.
Oh, diplomacy. I can
I
make
can
it
actually do
unchecked.
diplomacy and yeah, that's nice thing too.
That's a +0, but I can make it untrained.
You can make it untrained.
I certainly can't with a nat 1.
Well, you can make it untrained. It doesn't
Make
mean
it
it's a
untrained
word.
doesn't mean you're going to be successful.
No, 24 culture.
26 diplomacy.
15 diplomacy.
Okay. So you're looking over this display. Let me take a look here. It's eclectic, containing belongings from a multitude of cultures and eras. Most are well-worn household items, some showing obvious signs of replaced parts and amateur attempts at restoration. As you're looking here, he's talking. He's like, "My name is Gelatal. I am a disciple of Talavet, and we value the communal nature of storytelling and connecting people to their past." And while he's talking, he says that this display is less about the objects on display, but more about the stories that are connected to them.
Sure.
He says every belonging on the display was donated by members and clergy from his temple whose families originate in the vast. With each donation, he asks for the story of how the donor came to hold it, and has organized his display based on the emotion those stories embodied. Belongings with happy memories associated with them are bundled together. Another section shows items that were brought their donors pain, whether they were found in the fields of farmers, salvaged from ancient battlefields, uncovered deep within a ruined city, or simply inherited by a grandparent. He argues that these stories are equally part of the history of the belonging as its original use. And as you guys are listening, he's like, I believe that the Starfinders being sent to display things that you didn't collect, that you don't know what's going on. You're a bit too disconnected from the stories that you're really not the best people to present them. And while you've been listening to me, I think I may have judged you a little too hastily. I do apologize about that. I look forward to your display. Congratulations, you got those. There are 2 additional displays that are not attended. They're already ready. One contains beautiful statuettes and the other contains impressive jewelry. Looking at the signage, it shows that these are part of the Grand Museum of Kabarat's collection, that they were displayed by Zovi, and they come from a variety of cultures and locations in the vast. Give me perception checks or professions that relate to art form.
10.
20. Perception.
9 perception.
21 perception.
Okay, so you 2 are able to determine that these displays are paired and designed to be aesthetically pleasing and are placed near the entrance of this gallery to pull in patrons.
Okay.
So now you have to set up your own displays. Go ahead and give me a culture check or a profession check that is relevant.
Not me.
19.
Culture?
Culture.
I got a 6. Rolled that one.
Get that. So here is a bunch of things. I'm just going to list a whole bunch of things off. So the material that has been given to you to help display, they belong to the various cultures found within the Skyward Star system. Included in this collection are pottery, statuettes, tools, weaponry, technological devices, and magical relics. Most belong to the Mentrasi and a variety of Jinsul cultures, including the Mimur theocracy and Kratun tyranny. I don't know why that looked like Myanmar for a second. There's also a smaller collection of relics representing other species of the Skyward Stars, including belongings from a Sing-Nithrax way station, a Techian industrial site, a Mato bathing pod, a Nalentu farm, and a Tyr religious site. And Arthred can tell that these artifacts were largely collected by people who wanted to bring back something flashy and impressive to the society rather than being collected purely for their academic value.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Now this is where it's going to get fun. So if you need me to repeat this a few times, let me know.
What?
You will need to determine 2 things. First, you'll need to determine how you are going to organize the display. And then second, you will need to determine where in the gallery are you going to put your display. And I'm going to give you the options, and we're going to go with the first option set, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
So, you... Oh, sorry. Reverse that. We're discussing location first, and then
Setup.
setup.
Remind us again real quick what exactly it was that we... So we just got flashy stuff to showcase.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of stuff. Like, it's not all like...
You just told us a second ago what we had, didn't you?
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. Do you want to read through it again?
If you could do hot points, that'd be fine. But if not, it's fine.
Well, they're all hot points.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's a bunch of cool looking things that they're not necessarily steeped in a culture. They didn't bring back, like, a pottery jar that explains, like, certain aspects.
Right.
It's like, they brought back a weapon because that looks cool. They brought back this cool looking crystal. They brought back that part of that freaking stela that the Mentrasi souls were tied to, kind of thing.
Yeah. More war trophies.
Sure.
More stupid military members going, I like that.
Yeah.
Things that
Like
are
I
just,
said, more war trophies.
yeah, things that are just catchy to the eye rather
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
have any real value historically, culturally, or
Academic.
possibly monetarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we've all seen museums like that where it's just like, it's just what we have.
yeah. So here are your things. You're gonna be able to put it in one of these locations. It can be.
Well, first off, if there's any corners, we don't want that. We're not touching a corner.
There's no corners in this
Good.
museum.
Oh, good. Thank you for reminding me.
That's a valid statement. It's a valid statement.
No, you're right.
So you can either display it in a visually prominent location, a central location that sees a lot of foot traffic, a secure but less visible location, or in between Waylos's and Gelatal's displays.
So Wayloss was the college display, and what was Gelatal's, the jewelry?
Say your first statement.
Wayloss was the college display.
College? Yes, the university display.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gelatal's was the emotional display.
Oh, that's right. So yeah. So Wayloss had the two guys, and then the emotional display was the thing with like a broken down washer, but it happened to be owned by like 7 generations of a family of prominence. Okay.
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially.
And then there's the other two that are near the gallery, which are Zovi's, and they're really beautiful jewelry and statues and things of that nature.
Cool.
So, once again, a visually prominent location, a central location that sees a lot of foot traffic, a secure but less visible location, or in between Waylos's and Gelatal's display.
So as far as security is concerned, I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. I do like the idea of a lot of eyes, though.
It's war trophies.
Yeah, like I said,
As far as I'm concerned, a centralized would be the best.
Yeah.
Because it's
more foot traffic, more
Just
foot
ask
traffic,
yourself,
more
what would
conversation,
Nigel
more
do?
eyes. And honestly, like if there's any ordinance or anything like that, we can disarm it.
Find
do
the
the
thing
opposite.
that looks absolutely cursed and open it.
And then do the opposite.
So
So
Tuesday-
it's what I'm hearing from you. You want the central location that sees a
Central
lot of foot
location.
traffic.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
sees a lot
I
of foot
also
traffic.
don't dislike the idea of being between the two.
No, it wouldn't fit. It
I
doesn't
mean,
fit.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying you're wrong, but I feel Ace would see it as a progression.
That's totally fine.
But yeah, but
Okay.
I'd like the central first, obviously. But also if that was
Central
not
is my
valid.
gut instinct.
Yeah.
So you have chosen a centrally located location that sees a lot of foot traffic, and you've plopped down your display. Now you need to choose how you're going to display the belongings. Conservation staff is on standby to assist with the physical placement and handling of the objects, so you don't have to worry about that. However, properly identifying, sorting, and displaying these objects are down to you, and will require checks.
Okay.
No.
So this is where it gets a lot of text dump. So give me a moment.
It's fine.
Although did Brian got his
Get
notepad
dice
out?
ready.
Here are the ways of organizing the display, and I will give you the skill that is associated with it. You can arrange the belongings to be aesthetically pleasing. Perception. You can arrange the belongings by cultural origin. Culture. You can arrange the belongings by environment. Life science. You can arrange the belongings by the materials they're created from. Physical science. Or you can arrange the belongings by use and purpose. Engineering. Now, you can ask anybody that you've previously talked to for advice on how to display things.
Yeah.
All it does is it gives you a +1 bonus with that to the check to organize them. So I'm going to assume, because you've talked to everybody, I'm just going to give you that +1.
Sure. Sure.
So would you like them again, or would you just like the skill checks?
I know the only two that I would attempt are perception and engineering, and they're both a +6, i.e. +7.
The
You
physical science would
probably have
be
the
my
highest
best,
overall
but I
modifier,
think
depending on the
culture
skill.
is probably going to be the best one overall. With the you're probably high on culture, aren't you?
Probably.
Yeah. Do you have an 8 or 9?
I have an 8 in culture.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a
Here's a 32 in perception.
no.
No, I have a 6 in perception. I
Yeah,
have
same.
a penalty to wisdom.
Yeah.
Physical science is actually my exo cortex skill
Oh,
focus, so I
nice.
have a 12.
Okay.
Nice.
So let me clarify this.
So that's by material.
Yeah, by material. Here's an additional thing. Each player can attempt a single check and then people can aid.
Oh,
So
Okay.
that's up to you guys.
All right. Well, I can't aid physical science. That's you and you alone.
but
Technically, you can because
but-
you can get a 10.
my
Oh,
engineering's
that's
not.
fair.
My engineering's not that. My engineering's at a +11, so
Well, this will be a 12 plus whatever 8. I can aid engineering. I only have to
I
roll
mean,
4 higher.
again, I can get a 10 in engineering to aid.
yeah.
It's possible.
So we could do the use and purpose.
I
of
do
engineering.
like engineering a
I
lot.
do like engineering myself.
Because we're,
So-
we're central,
Yeah.
and then I want things to have a natural flow
So-
of use.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
Go ahead and give me a. So
So engineering, aid, attempting aid.
Attempting.
Do you have engineering?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't
mean,
have engineering.
Well, I know. I'm
so
just saying.
as you guys are looking around, Gelatal's like, well, here's how you could do that correctly. He's the one that obviously is about purpose and use. So,
yeah, he's the emotional one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make your checks for your aiding, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. I aid.
No.
You aided?
I aid.
yes. So let's see. So it'd be +5 total because his +1 and
Correct.
these two.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Is that 18 on the die?
no, that's a 10.
Oh.
So that's still 26.
I mean, it's not.
I'm sorry that fails. No, we're low tier.
Whatever.
You're able to set it up. You actually don't know if it fails or succeeds, so you're just able to
we
set it
feel
up.
strongly about
Yeah.
it.
But yeah.
You think you did a good job. Gelatal's like, I like what you did here.
How does? Oh shit! Don't tell me. Don't remind me. I want to say Mika, but that's not her name. It's like Omiko.
Amikesh? Amik?
Yeah,
The vest security?
security girl.
Yeah.
yeah. Because she's the only other soldier.
Amik, yeah.
Yeah, I carry myself like a death soldier. So
So what were your questions?
I just want to know how. I just want to get her attention. Be like, what do you think?
It's not something I would really understand. I would have gone for more
No,
like
just how, visually like. Does it make you angry or does it make you happy? Does it elicit some emotion from you? I'm just curious.
unless it's confusion. It's not something I'm really familiar with. I would have what I would have done. I would have gone through and like determined like their environmental impacts and stuff like that. That's where I really would have gone. But I mean, you did a pretty good job.
Okay.
Ihu Hadif walks over, and I was like, "Oh, it looks like you guys have finished. Can you tell me what's going on with this? Why'd you place it here, and how did you decide to do it this way?"
The items told us where they wanted to be.
Well,
arranged them.
we really wanted it to have a heavy foot traffic, so we decided central location.
Yeah.
A lot of people will come through.
And we're basing them kind of bit on their usage and their purpose of each of the items.
I wanted to do a hands-on display, but they wouldn't let me.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea not to do a hands-on display. These are
Okay, Nigel.
artifacts from other civilizations that we don't necessarily know everything about them, so we want to be a little bit safe. Okay, well, you guys have done a fantastic job. Okay, so tomorrow is the gala. Remember, you can shop, eat, go check out some of the cool restaurants. There's this fantastic seafood bistro just right down the road.
Oh,
Yeah. And go ahead and get what you want.
Do we have a per diem?
No.
Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Starfinders give us a per diem? No.
They've done it in a few episodes.
Yeah, but those were very expensive.
Oh yeah, they were. But be here for the gala tomorrow at 6 p.m. local.
Okay.
If you want to get formal wear, I'm pretty sure there's formal wear somewhere in the city. It's a pretty big city.
Oh, of
I
course,
push a
of
button
course.
and my armor glows. I'm like, I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, you've got the glamored.
No, so Clearweave has like neon lights
Yeah.
that are built into it.
Okay. The Starfinder Society has paid for decent hotel rooms nearby the museum for you.
See?
They
We
paid
got
for. There you
something.
go.
And so,
Continental breakfast, I
you-
assume.
actually, no.
Just say yes.
No, it's
Son
not a
of
continental
bitch.
breakfast. It's actually better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a
It's
full
a-
breakfast rather than a continental.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a Pangea breakfast.
Ooh.
It's a tri-continental breakfast because they have three
It's
continents
like-
here in this world.
It's international full English, so it's like
Beans and toast.
no, but yeah, but I mean, but international. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like Belgian waffles,
Oh, yeah.
Dutch eggs,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Scottish,
South
whatever.
South biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when you talk to like an English person. They're like, biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. I love watching the
There's a
reaction
YouTube
from
channel.
What?
Yeah, there's
Because
where
biscuits
they-
for them are cookies.
Cookies, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Well, they're
Because,
digestives is what they call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cookies for them are like crisps and snaps, like ginger snaps.
Like crackers.
That's what cookie has to be like. And so like our chocolate chip cookie, that's not a cookie. It's a biscuit.
little off track. In Ireland, so Subway got sued because their bread had too much sugar to qualify as bread, by the European standards.
Yep. Yeah, American bread has a
Aren't
lot
we
of sugar
stupid?
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a food theory on that, and it was actually just Irish standards for sugar and bread were unusually strict
Yeah,
because,
2%
like
or less,
most
yeah.
other breads in Europe, were also too sugary.
Yeah.
And we're cake.
Especially French ones. Yeah,
Andy
oh, yeah.
Andy uses honey. She doesn't use sugar. She uses honey
Mm.
for her bread. I'm getting some water real quick.
Yeah, we have we did a honey mead milk bread because we have a bread maker, and I had 2 slices and my sugar. This is before my Trulicity and everything. I went from like 141 to 380, 2 slices. We looked up the math, and Susie was like, "I think this has like 40 grams per slice."
I have a bread maker too. Her name is Andy.
Oh shit!
She makes.
My wife needs dough, but not that way.
She makes 4 loaves of bread every Tuesday and Thursday.
Do you have the machine, or does
No,
she
no,
bake it?
she just
Oh.
does it by hand. But her mom was making 11 loaves every
No, I
Saturday.
get.
Like she,
you guys
like,
are relatively well LDS. We are not. So the idea of my wife.
She's relatively LDS.
yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, make bread. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like when I make pizza, I don't even make dough. I toast bread and then I put like the sauce and the pepperoni.
That's
in
understandable.
In the oven.
Like we do it because it's a cost point.
Like,
Sure.
yeah,
No,
same.
I agree.
All the amount of
we
kids
can,
and everything.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can make. She can make 4 loaves of bread, which lasts us about a week, and sometimes it's 4 days, for like
Yeah, he has
30
27
cents. I have 4 kids. Thank you very much.
Listen, at the ages that they are, you multiply that shit and you know it.
It feels like it. Our youngest,
You're like, I thought I had 4.
our
Why are there
youngest-
8 kids? No, I
our youngest Elsie has now decided that she's going to climb everything and turn on all the lights.
What's this do? Oh man.
And we have still shelves for.
Are any of them still at that age where they paint the walls with their crap in the morning?
We have never had it that bad.
Oh, that's good. Only once.
We've never had it that bad. We did have issues during potty training for one of my children. I'm not going to mention their name because this is the internet. It stays on the internet.
Sure.
And they would
You could tell the population.
they
that
would
was me.
take. Spoiler alert! Just if you don't want to hear it, they would take their fecal matter and scrape it out of themselves because that's how they thought they took care of themselves.
No.
After telling them multiple times, "Don't do that,"
Oh,
and so their hands were covered in it, and they
that's like
reach for the toilet paper.
Is it Asian cultures? They don't shake with the left hand because it was.
That's
unclean?
Arab.
Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern.
Oh, okay.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
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 But they also don't like wiping on the walls.
No,
of thing,
I mean
so.
they might. I don't know their life. Whatever. Not like the Romans. The Romans shared a stick.
Yeah.
Hey, can you just get that for me?
It's also because they shared the same room.
Yeah.
When you said your wife made the bread by hand, I just imagined her like gets the dough,
Just
Just Superman's it.
bread.
Takes the pole and turns it into a diamond.
I'm like,
no, so
doesn't even use an oven.
her mom came.
She's
and
like,
visited
I'm going to be
us.
offended. You said I was yeasty.
Her mom came and visited us, and she had just made a fresh loaf, and she cut some off, handed it to her mom, and her mom's like, "Oh, this is really good." And I later talked to her like in private after she had left. I was like, "So how did you feel when your mom complimented your bread?" She's like, "I was so happy," and I'm like, "I bet you were." So okay, are you guys making any purchases?
I probably should get some nicer.
No, I will.
I
There was something I wanted to buy, and I forgot about it. Now I forgot what it was.
mean, I might go with the armor upgrade of Glamoured.
Yeah, maybe let's
That's
check
pretty good.
that. Let's see here.
I think it's 150. I don't know. I gotta redo my bandage. I put my hand into part of our subfloor to get some because we're cleaning up the site, and I just barely touched the rebar, and I just tore up my arm. Like I pulled my arm back. I'm like, oh look, I'm bleeding. I look at the rebar, and it's got this nice little like shaved shaved curl of my skin. And I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I've seen that before.
I'm fine
My
now,
skin.
but last night after fighter practice, I
It
typically don't
doesn't
like
wanna
to stay
come up.
outside after dusk because
What's
the
it
bugs.
called?
Yeah, yeah.
I was wearing shorts and a
It's,
t-shirt, and I
climate
got
protector.
home and
Oh,
I
it
was
is protect.
pockmarked
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah,
I had
Level,
my-
oh, it's
my
a
little
level
girl,
3.
level 3, 13,
rub a
15.
bunch of
But it's
hydrocortisone cream all over my
SA.
back. I don't know how I got bit the most
That's
in the
armory,
back.
isn't it?
That's annoying.
Okay, so while you guys
Yeah,
purchase, I'm going to
armory.
continue. Okay, guys.
Yep.
So
Okay. So you head to the lobby. You head to the gala, and so you are allowed to bring your equipment and weapons because a Starfinder should be prepared for anything. That's what Razadam says.
Oh, well, we're gonna bring them in.
Radazam. So the museum lobby is filled with guests. Catering staff weave between attendees, carrying drinks and small dishes, some local and some imported from the vast. Zovi steps to the central podium and, with a practiced, steady voice, begins speaking. I would like to welcome you all to the Grand Museum of Kabarat. I am honored to have this privilege of hosting this gala and of gathering some of the brightest minds of the galaxy under one roof.
And
Truly, truly, this event
Climate protector.
Truly, this event would not have been possible without all your help.
And it's a gear upgrade.
Yeah, it's armor add-on.
Just make sure your armor can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check that.
So, we have gathered here to shed light on the history of the vast. We curators always feel a personal connection to any exhibition we organize, but there are those in attendance who are sharing the legacy of their ancestors. We thank you for your expertise and your trust in our institution to facilitate your history. Spread throughout the galleries of our museum, you will find displays dedicated to various aspects of ancient vast cultures and people passionate about sharing their stories. Please explore, ask questions, and immerse yourself in history. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your evening. And at that point, everybody just kind of like starts mingling, gets their glasses of Archimedean champagne. So here's what's going to happen. Radazam excuses himself and says, hey, you need to go mingle with other guests.
Who's gonna be watching our booth?
The security. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But Ihu Hadif will be at the Starfinder's booth. Because he's the first seeker. So
Is he
here's
the
what
crazy one that was touching everything.
No, Ihu Hadif is the
Kasathan.
Kasathan, who is currently the
Oh, that's
leader
right.
of all of Starfinder.
Okay.
Okay.
Currently.
Currently. We don't
As
find
of-
that out for a couple months, buddy.
Yeah. As of season 6, episode 1.
Well, like in a couple
Wow.
episodes, the new
They're gonna have elections.
6-4 I think
I
is
said
the
as of
yeah.
this one. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to have to go around and talk with people. Each round is approximately 10 to 15 minutes. So it's going to be kind of nebulous time. And you will have 5 rounds for this thing.
So are we trying to find out information? Are we trying to garner favor?
You are trying to impress the guests.
And by the guests, you don't mean the other displays. You mean actual people.
Both.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
So I'm going to give you some names.
Okay.
Some of them you know, some of them you don't. And then we'll discuss the skills. Has everybody played 1-5? It's the first time we have. It's
First mandate.
It's first mandate.
I've played it, not this character.
It's going to be similar to that, but a lot cleaner. Okay.
Oh man.
So there are seven prominent displays spread throughout this ring of this museum. There is this word I'm looking for. There is a female human soldier named Captain Alice Sandel. There is First Seeker Ihu Hadif. There is Gelatal. There is Professor Muhali, who is a female Lashunta.
Professor what?
Muhali. Spell it however you wish. Also from Dead Sons 2. There is Odessa Nis, who is an elf.
We know Odessa.
What?
Odessa?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Odessa.
You know Odessa?
I think so. Isn't she? She had her own like 2 or 3 scenarios in 2 and 3. Could have swore.
It might be
I
a
don't
different
know.
Odessa.
Might be.
What's that?
Might be a different Odessa.
That's very possible.
Then there is Waylos, and at last Zovi. And I'm gonna tell you some stuff because there's a bunch of stuff here. I do apologize. Hold on, let me mark this because you guys did use and purpose. Okay. I think we're just gonna go down the list. Everyone gets a single check all round, and I'm gonna give you the name of the skill, and you have a choice. You can either try to attempt the skill or aid someone else. So I apologize. There's a lot of stuff here. So for Captain Alice Sandell, go ahead and just give me an engineering check. You don't necessarily have. This is not your one run check around.
Okay. 20 total.
16.
Okay. Are you trained in it?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. So those of you guys are recognizing their display. They contain a few of the weapons of Jinsul's construction and come from the Scoured Stars. And when you point this out, they laugh and say, "You Starfinders aren't the only ones with an interest in the Scoured Stars." Okay. To impress her, because you're trying to impress people, you must display knowledge of weaponry or combat. So either an engineering check or a profession check, such as gladiator, guard, mercenary, soldier, etc. Being a soldier does not count. Okay. So that is Captain Alice Sandell. The next is First Seeker Ihu Hadif. They are at the Starfinder booth. And in order to impress him, you must impress the crowd, the people that are visiting the display. And you can do any skill check of your choice as long as you can justify it. Examples include using culture to explain historical or culture information, engineering to discuss physical objects and their manufacturer, computers to run an interactive presentation, or diplomacy to entertain the crowd. So any of those. The third is Gelatol. You've already seen his display. To impress them, you must display knowledge of social tact, which is diplomacy, or of Talavet's faith, mysticism. For Professor Muhali, she is the head of the linguistic anthropology at Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology. Yep, that's a long word. To impress her, you must display knowledge of linguistics, culture check, or spot similarities within the showcased texts, which is perception.
Okay.
Odessa.
It turns out I was wrong. I googled her. It's not.
That's totally fine. Did you spell it correctly? Odessa?
Odessa.
E. Odessa-ness. It's still Odessa, like the Russian town, but it's an E instead of an A at the end.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a weird one. In order to impress Odessa, you must recognize that she is not feeling well. Medicine or sense motive, or help answer some tricky questions about underwater archaeology posed by visitors. Physical science.
Okay. There was medicine, physical science. What else?
Sense motive.
Sense motive.
Sense motive. Okay.
Waylos, you're already familiar with his thing. You just need to display knowledge of astronomy, physical science, or commerce. An applicable profession check such as accountant, banker, investor, or merchant. For Zovi's display, you must display knowledge of history, culture, or social influence, diplomacy. Okay. Everyone gets a single check You can either aid someone
Excuse me.
or make a direct check. I will tell you if the check counts or not. Like, if I say, like I said, go ahead and make an engineering check, that's not the count. You have 5 rounds to impress 7 people.
Okay.
And we're going round by round because things happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to impress who first?
All right, so the only options I have are engineering and perception, which I know that 2 of them were that. I
The
can
captain and
aid.
the professor. So, do you want to try straight out try one of them?
No, your engineering is technically way better than mine, but
Yeah, but the professor has perception, and
Yeah.
you're decent at that.
yeah, I think we're all at a 6 or give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can attempt that.
So I'll give it to you because there's no real reason not to. The DC is 15.
Okay.
Every time you fail, that goes up.
Okay.
I am currently running this for PaizoCon online, and they're like, we're just going to throw out. I'm like, okay, every time you fail, it's like, and they're like, oh, I have a +1 to this. I'll make the check. I'm like, okay. They are on round 4. They barely got it. The DC was like 25.
Ouch.
Because
high
they
tier?
just, what?
They high tier?
'Cause
No.
they-
No,
Oh,
they
wow.
just failed
all the failed
multiple
checks.
times. It was bad.
They're trying with like
Oh yeah.
plus
The other
ones.
thing I can attempt is the medicine check, but I only have a +1 in that.
You have
I
a
mean,
rank-
I could
do you have a rank in that?
medicine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's true.
Oh,
Oh, you're
I
not
forgot.
intelligence based?
No.
That's right. You're a soldier. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I could do medicine.
Okay.
There you
So
go.
who
Yeah,
wants to do what?
But
Alright, so
I'm
I'll-
not going
yeah, I'm gonna
to.
So
do-
you'll go.
At
You
least
want to
not this
do
round.
engineering or perception,
I think he was trying the perception, right?
Yeah, because you're.
which is Muhali.
yeah.
Muhali, yeah.
Go ahead and make it. Oh wait. How many languages do you speak?
4.
You automatically impress her.
Oh, Abyssal, Infernal, Eoxian, and Common.
Okay. She is a linguistics professor.
Oh, nice.
So you automatically impress her, no check needed,
Oh.
but that would be your action.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
I thought. Oh, a guaranteed victory? Sure.
Oh,
That's like, hey, you can auto hit, but you can only do minimum damage. Okay.
So let me read a little bit of this. So her display showcases a variety of texts from a carved stone stela to fragile scrolls, coupled with a holographic display showcasing linguistic similarities and differences over time and space. She's impressed by your ability to speak multiple languages, and she reveals that her university is planning a new expedition to dig under the city of Kabarat, perhaps
Add 2 more languages.
uncovering further eras of their history. Okay, so that's one. Who else does want to do things?
I forgot. I want to do Zovi.
Zovi,
Yeah,
okay.
One for every culture point. Did you forget about that?
Well, today, yes, because I was in the middle of leveling
Yeah,
him
no, that's
because
fair.
I forgot
It's
how
okay,
far.
it
I didn't
happens.
know how far behind he was.
So either culture or diplomacy.
yeah, because hey, I get diplomacy with a expertise die.
Okay.
Sure do.
You sure you want to roll those dice?
Yes.
Okay. I'm letting you know you have your dice hate you. Continue.
Give them a chance to hate him first.
The white one rolled a natural 20, and we're still waiting to see what's going on after that.
See, the white one hates it when I roll dice with it. This one has done well when I've rolled
Okay,
it in
okay.
set
So yeah,
so far. But thank you for cursing me.
12 plus 3. 16 plus
Wow,
6.
16 plus 6.
Okay.
Before modifier.
Before I modify it,
22 plus your die, whatever's on there.
32 total.
32. Yeah, you're able to impress her. So you already seen her stuff. She is stating that she specializes in the preservation and study of ancient textiles, fashion, and weaving methods. She's currently
Okay.
planning a fashion show showcasing replicas of ancient Castrovillian attire amid a traveling textile exhibit.
You know, if you give him the information for the textiles, he can make his armor look like that.
I mean, it's on display.
Yeah, I know, but you're saying, yeah, I was saying he could do it now, and then he could tell people. I'm just saying.
Okay. Are you there?
No.
I just assume we're
Okay.
doing a circle.
And
Well,
she promises
that's the
to.
thing.
Oh,
While
it's-
you're
it's
doing
yeah.
your
individual.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
She promises
We're
to
not
issue the
together, I'm
Starfinder Society an invitation when she does that.
Oh, absolutely. And
Okay.
Hopefully, I am the one they select to
Just
send
want to see
here.
the walrus do a runway walk.
And that was
Okay. That was Zovi.
Zoe.
Zoe, yeah.
Zoe, and then you got the professor.
So you have the captain, the
I was
first
gonna
seeker,
do
Gelatal,
Weigloss. Or
Waylas. Okay.
Yeah, the engineering.
He is physical
Physical
science.
science.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I got a 18.
Okay. He tells you that he is hoping that his display will help secure funding for his field work, as he's excited to uncover more about the ancient Awatia culture.
Ancient what?
Awatia.
Owatia. Okay.
Oatia. Awatia. Okay, Brian.
I'll talk to Gelatal.
Gelatal.
Got my diplomacy. 20 diplomacy.
Okay. He shares a story about a member of his congregation bringing him what he believes to be a dance stick. He's hoping that by pouring through stories and securing his God's blessing, they can reawaken the dance associated with it.
It's a rain dance.
Nice.
It's like,
the
it's a brass
moonwalk.
metal pole that twists.
Here I was like, it's a Wiimote. Just dance.
Casey's gone.
No, Casey's still here.
Now I know it. Now I want to see the walrus do that with
No.
with the glamour.
They spin for a reason.
It's just the walrus is holding on. Got pasties.
Okay.
How many nipples do walruses have? They're
I
mammals.
don't want to know. I think it's only 2 because they only birth 1. They generally only have 1 birth, so
That's fair.
2 to 4.
Give me a second.
I mean, it's not exactly like I've lifted walrus's top to find out.
I never thought about it. Like I mean, I know they suckle. I never.
not
You
from
know,
that.
No, I just had to
pigs have
text
so
Sarah
many,
that.
and, like, I'm only bringing it up. I accidentally watched a anatomically correct anime. It wasn't graphic.
With
it's just like,
walruses?
no, it's just like the cats had like 6 breasts with bikinis. Like
Okay.
Fritz? Did you watch Fritz?
No, that's
No,
not
no,
Fritz
that's
the cat?
old school.
Correct.
Jesus, but you're not wrong.
Because they have that.
No, it came. We were having a conversation with a couple friends about the first like naked women you ever saw on cinema. And for me, it was the 3-breasted girl from Total Recall.
Okay, yeah.
And then someone else said, "Well, I remember this anime from like the 80s or early 90s that had like anatomically correct. It was nothing gratuitous, but it was just like when they wore armor, it was like 6-breasted.
It made sense.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense for a cat because
And
they
I was
have
like,
multiple.
interesting. They
mammary
shared a
glands.
like a GIF or a quick video or something, like a MP4 rip or something.
Okay.
It just made me think of it.
As you guys are talking to the multiple people across the thing, shouting rings out across the hall.
Of course it does.
Looks like there's a male halfling and he's had a little bit too much to drink.
Oh,
And he's loudly arguing with Odessa about her display, referring to a stone tool as a scraper rather than a biface. And he goes, "Well, that's more academically sounding. A biface. Actually." Odessa is clearly overwhelmed and embarrassed, and neither of them are proving particularly good at making a coherent point. You can do one of 2 things at this point. You can choose to interfere, or you can choose to just let it go.
Oh, I choose to interfere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you must do one of 2 things to interfere. You must either distract him or calm him down. So, if you want to distract him, it's a bluff check. If you want to calm him down, it's a diplomacy or intimidate check.
Yeah, it's not me.
All right.
I don't
well,
have
how
any
about
ranks
a-
in
I know,
it.
I just Martineau was like, I want to intimidate. I want to intimidate.
Martin would be at
How
a
about
plus 20 right now.
Crystal check.
Sit down. Okay.
kind of like your Blood Rager and the.
We got
Oh
you
my
the
God! During the
Starfinder Society
Black
version
Matrimony,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Pistol check.
So it's intimidate, and you get a plus 4 intimidate if you're a size larger. When he rages, he gets bigger. So he was like, "Sit down!" And I think I rolled like a freaking nat 30 or some shit. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry, man. That was great. And then we had a really good battle in the end of it too.
I missed that one. I was on the next one that was the reception.
Oh yeah. Where
And I got jumped
where
by
she got ganked by her sister.
something like that. I just
Yeah.
remember I got
So
like
you was
jumped
it-
by a shadow or a
Yep.
wraith in the
And
bathroom.
then we jumped out
Yeah.
the window.
Ha! I'm like,
Yeah,
what
we
is
were
an incorporeal?
chasing
Never
after her, and then
mind,
we
this
jumped
is
out the
Black Rose.
window.
Never mind.
Remember that? We were chasing after her because the bride was unconscious. We jumped out the window to get to the boat, and then we
Yeah,
jacked
that's
them
the
up.
first one.
Oh, is it?
And then the
Oh, I
second
thought
one
that was the reception.
is the like reception. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one's the wedding, and it's the Hell Knights dinner or feast or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
second
Isn't that the one where if you get 6 points, you can get married to like a second cousin and become a Black Rose? Because I ran all those.
There's one though.
It
There's
was one
one
of
of those.
sets.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't go over too well, but that's a 17.
Okay, you're able to quiet him down. Okay, so now here's the issue.
Give him some coffee.
Someone has committed a faux pas and challenged another researcher in display. Now you've got to resolve that one way or another.
Cool.
Okay.
So the way you can do this is you can either make a culture check or an applicable profession check, such as anthropologist, archaeologists, or curator. Curator. And what you're doing is you're going to be backing up their usage of the word
American.
scraper rather than biface, because it's more easily understood by the layman. Or you can just compliment their display by succeeding at a bluff check or a diplomacy check. So you've got 4 checks here: culture, profession, bluff, or diplomacy. They all have varying DCs.
difficulties.
So that's the face side. This is the beef side.
So
You're
I
not
can.
I mean, for me, diplomacy is always the way to go because I always get to roll my expertise die.
Yeah.
Well, so long as I have resolve. I haven't dipped into my resolve yet.
Right. I can't help you with diplomacy.
You can always help with diplomacy.
Well,
you
if I don't get 10, do I hinder?
No.
No,
No.
we don't.
Yeah.
We don't
No, this
hear
isn't
No,
Pathfinder
yeah.
2.
I'm
Yeah,
just
so
sure.
yeah, we can attempt.
You can
to,
attempt to your heart's
I don't-
grand
I don't
desire.
assist.
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
3.
I was too busy.
Jeez.
Nice. 21 base plus 10.
21 plus 10 plus
My two.
6.
23.
Yeah.
25.
35.
35.
So yeah, you're able to easily compliment the display
Well,
and make it
Not
understandable.
a scraper.
And
It's
just
actually
kind of like
scrapa.
he just like calms down and is like, okay, fine, and like he's handled away from the display and made sure he doesn't have more to drink. Okay, you are able.
I mean, this is his element.
You see a little space goblin and
I
a
thought water
doctor's coat
Yeah.
jab him.
Yeah.
Why
Honestly,
can't
that's
you-
still my favorite, just little like rando
Why
thing.
can't you play space goblins in Starfinder?
Society.
Okay, focus. Come here. Look at me. I am angry and I want to know why too.
Dude, it was,
I petition every time they're like, "Oh, who do you want to see?" I'm like, "I want space
we're in
goblins."
season 6 already.
Yeah, they're hold on, I gotta say this. I gotta say this because as a venture agent, I can't speak out against Paizo. I'll explain this. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna speak out against Paizo, but I'm like stating there are some that feel that they've already kind of beaten a dead horse with goblins and Pathfinder because goblins were the thing then, and they don't necessarily want to do that, and they try to make Skittermanders the new cuddly face, and I understand that, but I don't care about all those like
Goblins
new books.
aren't a cuddly face. They're goblins.
I want a
In
space
all
goblin.
honesty,
goblins are gorgeous.
they're more like the Ewoks.
I love space
Yeah,
goblins.
I want it to be like, honestly, I'm okay with even like a charity boon.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and it's like you get 120 advancement points to play like a Trox. I'd spend 180 to play a fucking space goblin.
yeah.
Easily.
No, so would I.
I mean, I wouldn't, but I want you guys to have your goblins.
Yeah, I will. But like, because I'm partial to high dex characters.
I would
characters.
kill for an exocortex space goblin.
Oh, it'd be funny.
We would be twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it would be so much fun. But yeah,
Okay, we're off.
Yeah, sorry.
whatever.
Off to the races.
Okay, so round 2. You have Captain Alice Sandel, First Seeker Iho Hadif,
Did-
Odessa,
Oh yeah, we did. Okay.
and that's it. So you're gonna go to Odessa?
Yeah, because she was physical science, right?
So hold on. Yeah,
Yep.
I gotta read a bunch of things here. So she is physical science.
I was gonna do medicine.
Yep.
So
What's
if
your
you
medicine?
don't-
Worst case scenario.
Mine medicine is 8.
Okay, because mine's 9. But did someone else have medicine that we could have? Maybe
I
get
have a
multiple.
1.
You have a.
He does have a rank in it.
Yeah.
So, we could try to get multiple bonuses to
Yeah.
do that one. My
Yeah.
physical science though is a
Who
12, so
was
I just need a
engineering?
3.
Uh,
No one has a rank in physical science, do they?
No.
Sandel was.
Yeah, Captain
engineering.
Sandel.
Yeah.
And I
Talk about weapons.
Yeah,
You-
she was engineering.
you have not gotten
and-
her yet.
Profession.
And profession.
You
yeah.
got
The one
Muhali.
that I did perception with?
No, you got Muhali, which because you had 4 languages, you automatically
Oh,
succeeded.
that's right.
Mhm.
There's a
Well,
bunch
yeah,
of.
I have a 6 in engineering. It's not as high as yours.
Okay.
Is that who you were gonna do?
Well, he was looking at Odessa.
Odessa. Because I have,
No, but you're,
Yeah. Okay.
but I have a good physical science, and my medicine's not too bad either.
Okay.
So you would just need to roll a 9 to get.
Yeah.
That's a 60. That's a 55% chance of. Actually, it's a 60% chance of success.
And I mean, the likelihood of me aiding is pretty high on that.
Because if I do
I've got
physical
an 8.
science, I need a 3.
Okay. So you're both gonna head over there.
Because I have a 12.
Yeah, but I can aid either.
Yeah.
Very
So-
likely aid.
With the medicine, I only have a 9, so with the 8, it'd be an 11. I'd still would need a 4.
Yeah, that's good.
So go ahead and make whichever check you wish.
'Cause
Yep. You decide. I can't help with engineering.
I'll just do the
at
physical
all.
science on my own, and then if you guys want to jump in like on Edu
Yeah,
or
well, we have
Captain.
worst case scenario. I failed engineering, and you could pick it up next round.
It would be harder then.
Yeah.
But mine's a 6. His is an 11.
That's true. I'm still saying
The odds are in his favor
the odds
if
are
I fail.
more in his favor.
Yeah,
if you
and
fail.
yeah.
Either that or like the 3 of you could gang up like on Edu, pick like one skill for one person to do, and like 2 do an aid.
Yeah.
Because
Ihu is anything we can
there's
justify.
a fight, yeah.
Because we're just trying to impress the crowd.
Right.
So it's like the 3 of you have like a skill all in common.
Well, we still have 3 rounds, so
Yeah.
I'm not too.
So
worried.
go
But
ahead.
I'll attempt
I'll try the
engineering for the
physical.
captain
Okay.
because I'm a soldier. I'm going to show her cool gun shit.
So let's roll for Odessa real quick.
Is it? I did roll the 2, so I got a 14.
Okay.
but I could use my reroll. But
So you
yeah,
know
I
that
would say
you-
it's kind of early for
You
that.
know
so-
the DC.
Yeah.
You know you failed.
But it only would go up by 1, so. Oh,
But how many Novas do you have?
3.
So
Oh no. 2.
so you roll, add an additional +2 because your Novas get added into your reroll.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If it's too early, because we're still only round
Yeah,
2,
it
so I
really
think
is
I'll
too
wait on
early.
that.
Okay, that's fine. I need you to make
It's-
a Fortitude save, please.
42 though. All right. That's a 19.
Okay, you you become dizzy and you have a painful headache, but you're able to like make it subside and you're kind of like able to walk it off. But you did fail. Okay, you're gonna go for the captain.
Yeah, engineering. 25.
Okay.
So that's
Alice admits that she's been promoted onto a new position in the Vast, but refuses to elaborate on where, only saying that it's somewhere the Starfinder should be familiar with.
Okay.
That doesn't narrow it down much.
Yeah, I was like, all of the Pact and a lot of other areas.
Most of some of the Vast,
Some of
and you guys wanted to go for Ihu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What do we want to do?
Diplomacy.
Yeah, we both have
Probably.
that.
What's your bonus? Who's got the higher bonus?
I've got a 10.
I've got an 8.
Okay. And so you roll a minimum of
And I have
2
2 dice.
So you roll a minimum of 2. So you have a minimum of 14, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll aid.
Likely
Well,
aid. He
unless
could roll a 1.
one.
Roll
Yeah.
your aid. Not
Come
a
on.
1.
Not a 1.
Okay, so that's giving you a bonus of 15. So you just need to roll a 2
So just not a 1.
on either die, not a 1 on either
Oh,
die.
you're
Yeah,
right.
you
You're
need
right.
3,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Stay in the.
You
box.
succeeded. You have a 2 on that die.
Yeah. So 8 plus.
So you are successful. And Ihu gives you a recovery Aegis.
Oh, nice.
Cover Aegis.
It is from on the Starfinder Armory, page 115. Okay.
It's AEGIS,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
which is weird. Shield.
Okay. As you guys
the most powerful shield in most of the Final Fantasies.
are working
Well,
around,
so the sorry,
That's
Aegis. It's a Greek mythological name
Mythological.
of Zeus's shield.
No, he didn't use.
it's
the
just the
shield.
name of a shield in general.
No, so there's an actual mythological
'Cause
item.
I think-
the Aegis of Zeus or the Aegis of something, but it's a specific.
I'm not recalling, but it's been a while since I've really studied
But
mythology.
it's where that type of shield derives the term Aegis as
Oh, okay.
historically from then on, like kite shield, tower shield. Aegis just means a Greek type of like Hippolyte shield,
Okay.
but it's based off of a
Off of a
mythological
mythological.
name of one,
Okay.
yeah. May even be the one like the Aegis of. Oh
Thought
my
it
God,
was-
who's got fought? Yeah, Perseus maybe.
Perseus
mirrored
is a
shield?
demigod.
Yeah, I know, duh.
Yes.
But he's the one that kills Medusa, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is the one that kills Medusa
And-
with the
With
shield.
the polished shield, yeah.
The
I might-
shield is is Hades, if I remember
Hades
correctly.
shield. That might be it then.
Hades shield because you get the, or maybe the invisibility hat is Hades.
No, the helm is Hades.
The helm is
The
Hades.
shield is
The shield was Athena,
Ares.
wasn't it?
or Athena's.
Athena's.
Athena.
No,
Athena.
the spear is hers. Or the. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he
he borrows from his family. Yeah.
he is given so many magical items, like a really bad GM to a first-time player.
Well, he's gifted Pegasus. Like, here's a unique winged horse. Have fun.
Yeah,
And yeah, if you read the actual mythology, it's his like second cousin.
Pegasus.
Yeah. Because they're so the way that mythology works is when Zeus creates things, they're all related. Because in the mythology they don't have blood.
Correct.
There's no uncles and cousins. It's just by our standard of genetics, but there is none. So like the Titans are related to, and the Pegasi are
Yeah,
related
yeah.
to, and they're all related.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like it's not a second. It's more like a third or fourth cousin.
Well, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's a
Might even be
weird
seventh,
quibbling.
but yeah.
That's a weird quibbling. I'm sorry. That was my statement. Like my brain's like that's not accurate.
I did a quick search. It's related to Zeus and Athena.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Might be the armor that Athena wore
Yeah, the
when she
breastplate.
Yeah,
when she smashed out of his skull. Because man, Greeks and their gods.
Yeah, it says shield or breastplate.
He had a
in
severe
relation to-
headache. Someone smacked his head with a hammer. His skull split open. Athena jumped out, fully armed and armored and full grown.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our short break now.
Cool.
We're gonna take a 10-minute break. We're gonna come back at 8:44, and we'll see you then.